Okay, everyone, welcome back. And what we're doing now is we are going to add and subtract radicals. First, we learned to simplify them, then we learned how to multiply them, and now we're going to combine them. And as you might remember, combining is adding and subtracting. So adding and subtracting is the same thing as combining. That's what it means, add and subtract. So as you might remember from some of our discussions, you cannot combine things that are not the same. You cannot add and subtract apples and oranges. You can only add apples to apples or subtract apples from apples, or same thing with oranges. So it's the same thing here. So let's take a look at this. First, we're going to do the simple part, which is just figuring out how to add and subtract ones that have the same radicals, they are like terms. And then the next level is a little bit more difficult, where you have to actually turn them into the same when they don't look the same, and we use that simplification or simplifying radicals in order to do that. So let's start with the really easy stuff first. So if I have 3 square roots of 2 and I add 4 square roots of 2, well, that's 3 of something plus 4 of something. That is going to be 7 square roots of 2. Okay? 3 of these and 4 of these is this. It is 7 square roots of 2. If you get confused, I mean, just think apples and oranges, just like the x's and the y's. 3 x's and 4 x's is 7 x's. 3 y's and 4 y's is 7 y's. I might remind you what you could do. Let's kind of remind ourselves what that combining like terms means. Let's do 2 smiley faces plus 5 smiley faces. Well, 2 of them plus 5 of them is 7 of them. Okay, now let's look at this. Let's do 3 smiley faces plus 4 unhappy faces. You can't combine those. They're not the same thing. Okay, that's like saying $3 and 4 pigs. What do you have? Well, you have $3 and 4 pigs. They're not the same thing. You cannot combine them. So it's the same thing with radicals. If you have 2 square roots of 5 plus 3 square roots of 7, they're not the same thing. I cannot combine them. So knowing that, it's actually not that difficult when you see. I don't know. Let's do 4 square roots of 3 minus 2 square roots of 3. Well, that's 4 of something minus 2 of something, and that equals 2 of that thing. 2 square roots of 3. Okay. Now, something I want to remind you of is if you have like 5 square roots of, let's do 7, okay? And then you have plus square root of 7, well, you don't see a number right here. And if you don't see a number, anytime that would be one of them, so that's 1. There's 5 of these plus 1 of these. If you don't see a number that's being multiplied, that number has to be 1. Okay, so 5 square roots of 7 and 1 square root of 7 is going to be 5 plus 1. That's 6 square roots of 7. Okay, and don't get hung up on the negatives either. If you have, like, I don't know, negative 7 square roots of 2 minus a square root of 2, that's 1 square root of 2. That's negative 7 minus 6, or 1, negative 7 minus 1, negative 7 minus 1. That's 1 to the left of negative 7 on the number line. That would be negative 8. And then whatever it is that I had here, whatever those things are, x's, y's, or square roots of 2, doesn't matter. I'll put that right there. So that's how you combine those. So that's actually the simple part. You can only combine them if they are the same. In the next video, we're going to look at what you do when they don't look the same, but see if they could be made the same.